Hey, happy day to you and also you. Welcome to Healing Little Minds. I am StarzTina, the StarzTina Show, and on every Wednesday I come through with my girl Alison. Allie Cat, Allie, come on through. And we are here to talk about Traumedy No More for Kids, inspired by my book, Traumedy No More for Kids. Allie, tell everyone who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Hello, I am Alison Urban. I am a licensed clinical social worker, words are hard today, and a registered play therapist. And I work at a savvy out-of-network practice called Cultivate Therapy in Bloomfield, New Jersey. I also have a podcast that is called The Playful Approach, and I am on TikTok and Instagram with the same name.
I want to say hello to everyone out there in YouTube land right now. What I need you to do, if you're on YouTube, just type, where are you living? Where are you from? I'm a Jersey girl living in Tampa, Florida. Allie, where are you living? Where are you from? Tell the people where you're from.
Jersey, always, born and raised.
Jersey girl. So you guys probably saw that video. So I got the little cartoonies, Allie. Is this the main character right here? What's her name, by the way?
This is Joy. It's Joy. She's the
So
happy
is
one.
this Joy? My Joy is different than your Joy. Is this Joy?
I think so. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Mine is just she's
Love
just
it. I
normal,
love it. So I love that little section. Today, what are we talking about today, Allie?
we are
We have
talking
three topics.
about
Main topic.
yeah, helping children heal, right?
Yeah,
Understanding their needs and helping them to heal that way.
I love it. And in that particular clip, they were showing different emotions. And as they were going through, I grabbed my little people. This is disgust, I guess. And this is the one I
Yep, I
love.
have the mini one. I don't
I
know. Oh,
don't think
where's Anger? Oh, Anger's right here. Mine's got
here's
fire.
anger right here.
He's
And
fiery.
then,
Rawr.
and who is this one? I'm gonna get
That's
these.
sadness. I got her. But I
Yeah,
have the inside out two feelings too. So I got a little, we're a little advanced over here.
I've got some more behind me. Who is this one here? Who's this guy?
That's ennui. I don't really know what that one means. I feel like it's
It's
like indifferent. She is.
purple. Indifferent. Oh, that's why kids like that. Indifferent. I saw that. We got Bermuda in the house from Jersey. I love living in Jersey, living in Texas. All
Ooh,
right,
we got
cool.
a Tampa.
Yeah, we got people from all over. So the purpose of this show is to support parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and all that sort of stuff, and to give you guys some tips to help the children through different traumas and all that sort of stuff. As I mentioned, if you have not purchased this book yet, it's absolutely amazing. We have a chart that we're going to be going over today very briefly. It's on page 36 if you actually have the book, and it's traumas in the child of the brain. Renee, you can put the link up there now. Trauma and the brain for children. And we were talking about this last night, Allison. Allie, I keep calling you Allison. Sorry about that. If you because you are the professional and you know all the things when it comes to this right here. But before we get into that, I want you guys to do me a favor. Write in the chat if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have something that you have a question about when it comes to your child and their feelings and emotions, just type that in for me. But if you can talk about the trauma in a child's mind for us. Is
Yeah,
she
so
frozen?
I think that when we think about kids, kids are like sponges, right? So they take up everything, they absorb information, they absorb things around them, and when a trauma happens to a child, that sponge is almost like it's clogged up. That sponge is not able to absorb things the way that it does, and it kind of leads to kids acting out. I talk about it in my podcast this week because I talked about trauma this week. And that leads to kids almost feeling like a monster, like because they're acting
Mhm.
out because they don't understand where the clog is coming from. I talk about this in sessions sometimes with parents that it's kind of like they've turned into a watchdog. And if you think about if you've ever had a dog or you've ever seen a dog, which most people have, when like the mailman walks by, right? The dog is like, and the dog is like going crazy until the dog decides it's time to calm down. Even though the people around the dog are like, it's the mailman, or like it's your brother, it's so and so, it's this person, it's that person, it's a bird, it's nothing. The dog doesn't stop barking until the dog decides that they're ready to stop. And sometimes that can be how trauma presents itself in kids, is they like become the guard dog that like any little thing sets them off, that they go into like fight or flight mode almost. I feel like that was a lot for this
I love
morning.
it. So I'm going to start on today's topic, but what I want you to do, Alice, Allie, is go out and come back in because it sounds like you're a little bit underwater, and it's and I don't want us to go through the whole screen like this. And it looks like my screen is going wonky too. All righty.
We like to
So
have
today
mode.
we're talking about how understanding needs help children. We're going to put our text number on the bottom because it's ah the internet gods are not on our side today. I'm having an
No.
event this Saturday all about your basic needs. And we're talking about children, but of course you have to start with the adults as well. Can you hear me, Allie? My
Yes, I can hear you.
picture looks slow motion.
I think we're good. I think we're okay. It's like so
No.
I can take the ball if you need. I can
No, it's like, I don't know. Maybe let me try taking th- this camera out.
I don't know.
Not it's cool. It's
Yeah, so while
unless it's the
Tina's adjusting, I can kind of
Wi-Fi. I
take
don't
the
know.
ball a little bit. So this Saturday at 1 p.m. is the Unlock Your
Okay.
Potential workshop, where Tina's kind of working with parents to help gain hands-on tool for personal growth and
Hmm.
generational healing. Because I think from a professional sense,
She's having issues. I'm having
I'm not sure if I'm better, but um, it's on Saturday is the Unlock Your Potential
yes.
workshop to
Take the
help work with
ball
others
because I don't
to
see anything.
it's okay. Um, so our first step is that we wanted to talk about today is identifying the core human needs in children. And I figured kind of jumping from a more therapeutic sense and looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs is something that I like to talk about. And we all kind of do this without thinking about it, is that bottom level is those basic human needs. So that's right. Do we have food? Do we have shelter? Do we have the things that we need? Um, and right, because it's a hierarchy of needs, it's a triangle. So once that bottom need is met, we're able to start working up to other things that we need. And sometimes when there's instability, like food instability, it could be home instability, different things like that that happen. Right. So like missing that, then children struggle to feel that love, to feel that security, to feel that connection and self expression. And that's when they're trying to get attention. So with kids, this can look something like, are they acting out more frequently? Are they getting in trouble a lot more? Because they're seeking that attention in the only way that they know how. And for them, unfortunately, that's acting out and that's getting in trouble and that's getting attention. And sometimes, as caregivers, you can step in or we can step in to say, let me offer them an ability to spend more time with me. So that can be finding time once a week to have one-on-one time and giving them that attention so that kids are able to recognize that they don't need to act out for attention because that's negative attention, that they can get the attention that they crave and they can get that connection and that love and that security in other ways. And Tina is back now, hopefully better than ever.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what blows my mind, Allie? Usually I'll jump on, you know this, like 5 minutes before the show, and I'm like racing and everything goes smooth. But today I was like, no, I'm going to jump on 40 minutes early. I'm going to get my lights. I'm going to get my microphone, everything. And look how things just go wonky. I'm telling you. But
It
anyway,
was like, no,
thank you
she's
for
too ready
rolling.
today.
Too ready, right? Too ready. But I'm excited because I'm so grateful, Allie, that God has gifted me to meet you so that we can transform lives, right? We're going to give you 3 tips today, and then we're going to give you an exercise you can use with your children. The first thing, we're talking about identifying the human needs in children. As I said, this Saturday, I'm having an event. It's a free event. Click the link on the bottom to help you with your basic needs for your mental health. Just like exercise, you do exercise, you eat clean. That's great for your body, right? But your brain, you need things as well. So the first thing, she talked about the sponge already. That was the first tip. The second thing we want to talk about is overcoming barriers for healing. I kind of lost it. I had to go down for my notes, but it's okay. We want to talk about making a child feel safe, right? And I said to her, what happens when you try to talk to a child and they clam up? Because I know a lot of children, you talk to them and they just don't say anything. And you can take them to therapy, but some people may not have the time, space, or energy or money to take them for therapy. So to make a child feel safe, I like how you say go down to their level and play with them.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of parents really play with
no,
children. And I say
no,
that my daughter is 32, and whenever she's with my niece or around kids, she plays with them, literally.
yeah.
How can a parent, and it's okay, parent, be a kid and play with their kids? You got any ideas or suggestions?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of letting them lead because kids do work through things. Like I was working with a child who had experienced a lot of trauma. And this child, I do with kids sometimes, I like to do non-directive things, but sometimes I do offer a little bit of a directive or like a little bit of guidance in play. And so something that I do in a space with kids, and it's not to say that parents can do it, but for this child, it was significant as I say, let's pick a toy and let's create a safe space for them because we have an abundance of toys. And this child took a toy and they put it in a toy coffin that we have in our playroom, and they wrapped it in bubble wrap. And I don't have my
Did you
puppet
say
today. I don't
toy
know where it
coffin?
went. Yeah, we have a toy
Pause,
coffin,
pause, pause.
and
Did you
we do, and it can
what
be
what
used
is a
for
toy
an
coffin?
abundance of things. But I think what's important with that is, right, in this sense, the kid wasn't using it as a coffin. This kid was using it as protection because this child would hide when trauma and things were happening. So he put the toy in the coffin. He wrapped the coffin in bubble wrap, and he took one of the puppets. I don't have a puppet today, so I have my reversible baby Yoda. And he put it in the puppet, and he walked the puppet to the closet in the playroom because the child would hide in the closet, and put the puppet in the playroom in the closet and closed the door and said, "The toy is safe now." And right, that was something that for me as a therapist stopped me dead in my tracks. And I was like, yeah, okay, he told me what he needed. And he's telling me what, like, that's his way of healing, of communicating something that went on with me that I knew from the parents, that without even asking the child, I didn't even expect him to take this activity that far and that advanced, but just, and it's not even reading too much into things. It's just, he hid it in the closet and said, it's safe now. I was expecting him to, like, build something in the sand tray, like put up some trees or something. So that I was like, yeah, okay, that stopped me dead in my tracks. So I think that with kids, it's being able to let them lead the play and not reading too much into it, but just knowing that they play through their healing and that they go through these things. And the more we're able to have this unstructured play, like I could have been like, stop, you're not using the sand tray. You were supposed to use the sand tray, but instead I was like, I'm gonna step back and you do you, and I'm gonna follow wherever you lead us. I'm gonna go with you. And I think that that's the
Exactly.
beauty of even those few directives of I kind of just throw it out there and then I step back and I'm like, okay, you lead, you take me wherever you want to go.
Would you say that some parents, I know they're kids, but kids are smart. Would you say that sometimes they don't give them enough credit for thinking and knowing and expressing themselves? For example, this example right here that you just mentioned.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I think that sometimes parents feel like, well, they're not verbalizing it, so I don't know, but I'll tell parents that I'll be like, step back and do you watch them play? Do you see them play? Do you see what they're doing in play? Because kids play through things that they are going through. They do. And if you just
pause.
step
Say that
back,
again, girlfriend. Say that again. That was a good one.
kids play what they're going through. And if we step back and don't try to fix the play, don't try to fix what they're doing, they have the ability to solve the problem. It's just letting them play and letting them go through it. And again, like coming down to their level and entering their worlds, that let them lead. Because if they can't express that emotion verbally, that child they may play school. And in school, I don't know, disgust may be bullying sadness, and sadness may be feeling sad. And sometimes just being able to say with them, like, oh, sadness must be feeling really upset that they're being bullied. What should sadness do? Or what do you think that sadness would do? And letting them play through things, because sadness is going to learn to have a voice. And if I step in to be like, well, sadness should tell the teacher, I'm adulting them. I'm taking that control away. Versus if I'm like, huh, I wonder what sadness could do. Sadness must be feeling really sad that disgust is being a little mean to them. I would feel pretty sad too. I don't know. What should sadness do? They're solving their own problems. That when we jump in to fix them, we're not allowing them to fix it themselves.
I love it. I love it. And it sounds to me, this is going to sound crazy, that it's just talking to the child, treating them like an adult, having them express their feelings and their emotions is how you kind of make it work. And we talked about the emotion board right here. And I know that for some adults, it's hard for them to express how they're feeling. Get a board, guys, right? We're going to next week in the chat, in the link here, we're going to put where you can purchase or even take a picture of this. Actually, just go on YouTube or Amazon and just click the link. But quiet, goofy, excited. There's so many emotions, right? And if a parent can't express themselves, then a child can. If you're just coming in here, we're talking about healing little minds. And today we're talking about your basic needs. I was saying you got to start with yourself. This Saturday, I have a free event. Renee, if you can put it something so they can get the information for this Saturday, because once you start with yourself, you can do it for the children. We talked about tip number 2, overcoming barriers and healing. And number 3, practical strategies. So I want to talk about this right here, Allie, traumas and the child's brain. This is actually part of my book that I did because, yeah, we have the fun stuff in there, but I really want to get to the, I don't want to say real stuff, but if you can explain this to the peeps.
Yeah, and I think like I may steer a little bit away from this example specifically, but I think that it's just like I had said before, right? Like a guard dog that's barking and barking and barking. And if you think about a dog, right, that dog that's abused, if you rescue a dog that's abused or you see a dog that's abused, right, that dog is quick to be snippy. That dog is quick to be overreactive, kind of like in this, right, like an oversensitive internal alarm system, right? That dog is like, everyone's going to hurt us. Everyone's out to get us. So bark, be snippy, hide in the corner, right? Like be in that fight or flight mode, or like the sponge, right? Be clogged up because their brain isn't processing things in the right way, right? They're stuck in that fight or flight mode because of that trauma that they need us to be able to help them. And I think that, like it says they're stuck in survival mode, so they're overreacting to things. So this could be something as simple as they're melting down over things that seem so insignificant, or things that trigger them. They're right that it impacts their anterior that's I'm not going to get all things with that, but basically what that means is that cortex of the brain is that it's difficult for them to manage those strong emotions, so they are melting down because they don't know how to feel that feeling. It affects that hippocampus, right? So their ability to store and retrieve memories, all the things like that it's important that adults too, that we recognize that generational trauma can be handed down. And sometimes as adults, it's okay to recognize that I have to heal before my child can heal. Because it's like if you think of generational trauma as a bunch of cups. Let's say I have 4 cups together, right? The first cup is my great-great-grandma. The next cup is my great-grandma. The next cup is my grandma. The next one is my mom. The next one is me. And the one next to it is my child. If, let's say, my great-great-grandma is a cup of iced tea, because that's generational trauma, right? It's fogging up the cup. If I'm just pouring that iced tea from cup to cup to cup, it's not clear until someone takes that ability to say, hey, I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to do what I need to heal myself and to heal that trauma. That's like pouring water in the cup, right? If I have a tiny cup that's full of iced tea and I pour water in it, it's going to overflow. And what's going to happen is that water is going to take space in that cup. It's going to push the iced tea out and that cup is going to be clear.
Oh, I like
that. That I think that using your workshop this weekend or can help adults to see, maybe I do need to work on me, and it's okay to be an adult and to say I have some things that I have to work through, because in order to, something I talk about a lot is that I work to help to hopefully create a generation that doesn't have to heal from their childhoods. In order for that to happen, we as adults have to say I need to heal from my childhood to heal my child and to help my child. Because if not, I'm essentially like the Jaws music, right? Anytime something comes up that might trigger my child, I am triggered too. And it's that shark music from Jaws that I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't help my kid regulate if I can't regulate. So it's okay as an adult to be like, I think I need a little help too. It's not a bad thing.
Allie is on fire, guys. She was a little tired in the morning, but she is on and popping right now. You
Woke up. Because this is my thing. Trauma is.
are here. We are here every Wednesday. I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but Wednesdays we're here with Allie talking about traumas for kids. This part of the segment is over. Today we talked about understanding needs and how to help children go through them. Tip number one we talked about was identifying core human needs in children. They all have core human needs. The second thing we did, overcoming barriers to healing. And the third thing we talked about was practical strategies. And today we're going to talk about, and I'm curious if you've ever used this before, Allie. It's a grounding exercise, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for anxiety and overthinking. Have you ever done that before with your clients?
Yeah. So I do this more so with
Look at her
older
face. She's
kids
like,
that
of course
are.
I did.
I
I'll
do.
turn it
I
over
have
for you since you're the expert.
So I
I would
do
love
this
for you
with
to share.
older kids and teens and adults, and this is helpful because sometimes when we are overstimulated, um, we are finding that our brain is like can't focus, and we have to take that ability to help the brain focus. So with this, right, we walk through and we do what are 5 things that I can see. And it could be, if I were to do it right now, I might say, I see Tina, I see my lamp, I see my laptop that's in front of me, I see my phone, I see, that might have been 5, I stopped counting, sorry. I see the cars in the parking lot, right? And once I do that, then I'm tuning into my senses and I'm bringing myself back to the moment and grounding myself. So the next thing would be, okay, what are 4 things that I can hear? So it might be, 4 things I can touch. Sorry, see, I'm messing it up. 4 things that I can touch, right? Is I might say I can touch my chair. My chair is fuzzy. I can touch that. I can touch my legs that are sitting in the chair with me, right? I can touch the desk that's in front of me. I can touch maybe my phone that's in front of me too. Um, so again, right, doing things to bring us back to the moment. So once they've done that, then we step into 3, right? Because we're counting down. So I've done 5 things, 4 things, 3 things I can hear. And usually when I tell teens or older kids or adults this, they say, I hear you, Allie. So, okay. So maybe I hear my voice. Maybe I hear birds chirping. Maybe I hear my downstairs neighbor is getting ready for the day. And then I step into what are 2 things I can smell. And this one might be a little tricky, but I work with kids to say, like, really tap into that sense. Do you smell, is mom cooking breakfast or dinner? Is there, do you smell the rain outside because it just rained? I don't know, anything like that. And then one thing you can taste, can you taste dinner? I might say I brushed my teeth this morning, so I can taste the toothpaste, right? That I used to brush my teeth this morning. And usually when we walk through these things, because we're really tapping into those senses that maybe we know that we feel things, we hear things, we see things, we smell things, we taste things all day, every day. But really being intentional about tapping into those can help us bring our level down from like 100 to like something more tolerable.
I love that. Thank you. And that can be used for children and for adults. The purpose of that, as we said, was for anxiety and for overthinking. And the reason why this works is because it brings focus back to the present moment in time and it calms you down. And another thing I want to share before we get out of here, if you're feeling mad, anxious, stressed, whatever, you only hold a feeling or emotion for 90 seconds. That's it. Think of it like a wave in the ocean, like the clouds moving in the sky. The only reason why you're still feeling angry or mad or frustrated is because you're rolling it through your head like a movie scene, right? I can't believe that girl cut me off on the highway. Da, 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 da. Get rid of it, right? So we do want to thank you for rolling through today. I am StarzTina, your life and health coach, that person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing. We are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Allie, give us your little outro, girlfriend.
All right, well, take care of you to take care of children around us, because in order to have kids that don't need to heal from their childhood, we got to heal from our own, and that's okay if you need that. So use resources, use psychology today to find a therapist that's in network, that's whatever it is that you want them to be, that's close to your home, because we can't expect kids to heal if we're not healing ourselves. We got to walk the walk to talk the talk,
I love it. I love it. Join me this Saturday, 1 p.m. for a workshop to teach you how to focus on your basic mental needs. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Bye. And a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See you. See ya.